Hello everyone, welcome back to Code with Beto. In this video, we're going to set up this new machine that I just got. I recently decided to upgrade my MacBook and I got this new MacBook Pro. And for those who are curious about this machine, is the Apple M3 Pro. And the memory is 18 gigabytes. And also we have 1 terabyte of SSD, which is great. Although this is an expensive machine. But I think it's worth it if you are going to be working with React Native, especially, when we are developing applications for React Native, we need to have the iOS simulator running, the Android simulator running as well, and many background processes. So I think investing in a good machine is going to be good for you in the long run. And also in this video, we're going to learn how to set up this new machine, how install everything and all the tools that you need to have the React Native CLI environment set up working perfectly with the latest version. So before we start, if you want to become a master in React Native, go to codewithbeto.dev and check out my course, guys. And also I have a new course for those who want to master web and React with TypeScript. Also check out the course. We have one for React with TypeScript and the other one for React Native. So now you know. Go to codewithbeto.dev and check it out today. And let's get started with this video now. As you can see, this is a brand new MacBook. I don't have anything installed but Xcode. I went ahead and installed Xcode because Xcode is very expensive. It's like 10 gigabytes that you have to download or more. So I went ahead and do that, but it's very easy. Actually, this is the first thing that you should do. Just go to the App Store and search for Xcode. And just download it. That's all I did, okay? Nothing else. Next, the next thing that I like to do in a new computer is actually go to the official documentation of React Native, and they have this life-saving guide, as you can see here, called Setting Up the Environment. And let me make this bigger. Apart from this, here we have all the instructions for setting up our React Native development. Of course, we're going to be focusing on the CLI, not Expo. So I'm going to select here React Native CLI Quick Start. All right, cool. So let me open my terminal. The first thing that I want to do, this is my terminal. Let me make this bigger. First thing that I like to do is actually install Homebrew. For those who don't know what is Homebrew, basically is a package manager that allows us to install programs and things that you need in your development, right? So let's go ahead and copy this command here. Let's go to the terminal, just paste it here and hit enter. Now this is going to ask for my password. So let me enter my password and so let me hit enter again. Okay. And this is going to start installing this, right? So the cool thing about Homebrew is that allows us to install things just by, using Homebrew. So as an example, let's install iTerm, which is the terminal that I love to use. It's a great terminal. So let's go ahead and search for iTerm2. Copy this command. Let me make this bigger so that to make sure that everyone is able to see them. Let me go to the terminal. And as you can see here, this is downloading the command line tools for Xcode. So let's just leave that like that for now. And I'm going to open a new terminal by pressing Command N. And actually, I was about to run this command, but I need to wait before I don't have yet Homebrew, right? So let's wait a little bit for this to finish. Let's go back to the setting up the environment here for React Native, and let's quickly go through it. Okay, so a couple things to know here is that if you are new to mobile development, it would be nice if you start with Expo Go. But if you have a little bit more experience, I would encourage you to set up the CLI, and it's going to help you in the long term. All right, and that's what they are actually saying here. If you are already familiar, just use the CLI. Okay, let's keep scrolling down. The cool thing about this guide is that you can select your platform, right? So in this case, we're going to be using a MacBook. If you are using Windows, you can follow this guide and then set up the target OS. In this video, we are going to learn how to install both. So let's actually start with Android because we need a couple things, right? We need actually Android Studio. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the Android Studio website and download Android Studio. So I guess the latest one is this one. So I'm going to click here, scroll all the way down, accept, and say that this is a Mac with an Apple chip. All right. This is going to start the download and this is going to take a moment. So that's why I started with this. Okay, so that's all we need here, I think. I'm going to close this and let's go back here. Let's scroll all the way up. Let's start with all right, so I think Android is going to require a little bit more work because we are in a Mac and it's not native, right? So let's start with iOS. I think this is going to be easier. First thing that we need to do is going to be install Node. And actually, I don't have Node, okay? So we need to install Node. And if you pay attention, guys, they are using Homebrew. Let me make this bigger like that. They are using Homebrew to install these dependencies like Node and Watchman. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the terminal. Let me open the terminal. All right, and I think it worked. Let's see. So I can see here that okay, so Homebrew has done some things. Run these two commands in your terminal to add Homebrew to your pad. Okay, so I want to do that. I'm going to copy this. Oh my God, if I can copy. Sorry about this. Let me just copy these two lines. I'm using the trackpad, so that's why. Okay, I'm going to paste these two lines here and hit enter. Okay, and I think that should do the trick. All right, now let's see if this works. I'm going to just run brew version. Okay, and the version that we're using is 4.2.15. Okay, now let's install the terminal that I like to use. Let's go back and just run brew install cast iterm2. Right, hit enter, and this is the magic of Homebrew. Right, it allows you to install programs in your computer, in your MacBook very easily. Right. So this is the first thing that I like to do actually. And also these guys know that Homebrew is great. That's why they give you these two simple commands and makes this process very easy. Okay. So installing, I think it's installed, which means if I just search for iterm, I should be able to see this terminal here. All right. So I'm going to use this terminal now. I'm going to close the other one and make this bigger. Okay, let me put this to the right of the screen. Okay, and this is how it looks. Of course, I like to customize this one. Control sequence. Okay, I'm going to allow everything. This is the terminal that I'm going to be using, so let's just allow everything. Okay, now let's install Node and Watchman. So let's just copy this. Let's go to the terminal, paste it here, and hit enter. This is going to install, I guess, the latest stable version of Node. And to verify that everything was installed correctly, once this is done, let's wait a little bit, we can run Node version to see the version. Okay, so let's see how the Android, let me move this to the left. Let's see how the Android is coming along. Okay, so the download is finished. I'm going to double click here, drag and drop to my applications. Okay, so I guess this is going to take a moment. Okay, that was quick. And let's just leave it there for now. I'm going to open it in a moment. All right, and this is done, as you can see. So if I run Node version, we should be able to see the version, which is 21. Wow, 21, great. Now let's install Watchman. I'm going to copy this command and paste it here, hit enter, and let's wait. All right, so let's keep scrolling down. So we need at least version 18 or newer, as you can see here, of Node. And Watchman, for those who don't know, for those who are new to React Native, is a tool by Facebook that is basically going to be watching the changes that you are doing in the code, and it's going to basically allow us to see the latest version of the application in the simulator instantly, almost instantly, okay? The next thing that you need is going to be Xcode, as you can see here, and please use the latest version. The easiest way to get to install Xcode is going to be through the App Store. We already saw that, so let's keep scrolling down. We're going to need as well the command line tools, and this should be straightforward. If you download Xcode, I think it comes with the command line tools, so I don't think we need to do anything else here. You will also need command line tools. Okay, so let's open Xcode. I'm going to open Xcode, as you can see here. Now from here, I'm going to press Command, comma. This is going to open the preferences. And if you see here, we have this location at the end. And basically, they are asking us to go here, location, and install the tools by selecting the most recent version of the command line dropdown. Okay, so here they are asking us to select this latest version, which is the one I have. Let me put my password super quickly here. All right. And that's it. That's all we need to know. I mean, this was already here, so I didn't have to do anything. Okay. And yeah, this is done. Watchman is installed now in my machine. So let's keep scrolling down. All right, installing an iOS simulator. So I already have simulators installed, and actually when you install Xcode, they are going to ask you if you want to install the simulators. Okay, so you just have to say yes, select the latest version, and that's it. So I'm going to close this for now. Okay, that is for the simulators. Let's keep scrolling down. Make sure that you have Xcode 14. I think I have the 15 now, which is the latest one. Let's keep scrolling down. Now we're gonna need CocoaPods, all right? And CocoaPods, for those who don't know, is one of the dependency management system available for iOS, okay? And is a Ruby gem. So you can install CocoaPods using the version of Ruby that ships with the latest version of macOS, which means this computer comes with Ruby. I am not sure what is the command. Maybe I can say just Ruby version. Oh yeah, and that worked. That's great. So the version of Ruby is 2.6 is the one that it comes by default. Okay. So CocoaPod is one of the dependency management system, right? Available, and it is a Ruby gem. Okay. Okay. Using version of Ruby. For more information, please visit CocoaPod's Get Started Guide. Right, so let's go ahead and command click here. This is going to open this website, and basically this is the install. All right, so we just need to copy this command. Let me make this bigger so that you can see, and paste it here and hit enter. All right, so command not found. Let me copy this again. Okay, remove the $sign, hit enter. And because I'm running this as super user, I need to provide my password and hit enter. And let's wait for a second. Let's go back to the guide here. Let's keep scrolling down. So React Native command line interface has a built-in command line interface. Okay. Basically, they are explaining the CLI. And I guess that's all we need. Once we have that, we should be able to run this application. To start a new project, right? Creating a new application. So I guess I can just copy this command here. If you previously installed React Native CLI package, please remove it as it may cause unexpected issues. Okay, so keep that in mind. And what's happening with this? I think this is loading. All right, I guess we can just leave it there for now. You can use the React Native built-in command line interface to generate a new project. Okay, so we need to install React Native. basically run this command to create a new React Native app. But if you had React Native before, you need to uninstall it, right? By running this command. Now, you don't need to have React Native globally in your machine. I think you can simply run this command and we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and copy this command. I'm going to open a new terminal and make this bigger. Maybe put this to the left. All right. Oops. Bring that back. Okay. Actually, before I create this here, I'm going to go to my desktop. So let's cd into the desktop. Okay. And as you can see here, I'm in the desktop. So here I'm going to create my project. And on the right side, as you can see, CocoaPods were installed, but I got this error installing CocoaPods. The last version of blah, blah, blah to support your Ruby. Try installing gems install and then running the command again. Okay, it requires Ruby version 2.7. The current Ruby version is 2.6. Oh, okay. So I guess my version is not right. Although I'm wondering if I really need to install this. Let's go ahead and try to create this project using React Native. So I'm going to copy this and then in my desktop create this app. And I'm going to allow this. Now this is going to ask me to install React Native. I'm going to say yes. And yeah, so the name for this project is going to be Awesome Project. So let's wait for a bit to see what's going on, to see if we have some issues with these CocoaPods. And if we do have some issues, they're actually saying here that we can try installing this version. Okay. And then running the current command again. And I got a warning here. Let's see what's going on. So let's get started with Android, right? In the meantime. Okay, so you will need Node, Watchman, React Native command line interface, a JDK, and Android Studio. Okay, sounds fun. So we already did these two commands. We have Node and Watchman in our computer. And if I keep scrolling down, we have the instructions to install the Java development kit. So let's go ahead and copy. Let's start with this one. Okay, let's go to the terminal. And this is running, I guess. Let's go to the other one. Actually, I'm going to leave this one here. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a new terminal. Make it bigger, put it to the right, maybe a little smaller. And then paste this command to install Homebrew cast versions. So let's hit enter. Alrighty guys, and I think I know what is going on with my machine. The issue is that my Wi-Fi is not working. So let's go ahead and connect to my iPhone to continue with this video. And let's see if this works. Alright, that's my iPhone. Let's try again. I'm going to run this command. And maybe that's why this one failed, right? So let's go ahead and try the latest part here. Okay, so let's hit enter for this one. So my phone's internet is going to be a little bit slow. So I guess we have to wait. All right, guys, and now as you can see, this works. Let me make this smaller so that we can see this nice logo here of React Native. This is very nice. So it's downloading the template. Okay, and I guess it's working. The issue was my internet before. So here I just run this command. Now I need to run this one, right? To install Zulu 17. Let's go back and paste it here. Hit enter. And yeah, so I have internet now. That was the issue. Let's go back here, and once we have installed Zulu 17, we need to get the path to where the cast was installed. Okay, so we can simply so that we can double click the installer. Okay, so to get the path, we need to run this command. Let's go to the terminal and let's wait for this to be installed. All right, here we have a quick update. Now they're asking me if I want to install CocoaPods now, which is a good question. So I'm gonna say yes here. All right, and I guess we have some progress here. This has taken like 5 minutes, I think. Also here on the left, as you can see, we have one check, which I think it's good. And on the right, we are installing Zulu 17, and I think this is looking good. Now they are asking for my password, so let's go ahead and enter my password here. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Hopefully everyone is able to see here. Maybe a little bigger. Oops. Okay, and as you can see here, the installation was successful. Great, I have Zulu 17 now. So let's go ahead and copy this command, come back here and paste it. Okay. Alrighty guys, so now here I ran this command. So I don't know exactly what's going on here, but I think I have to double click the file, right? This file. So what I'm going to do is going to navigate to my Homebrew and then cast room and then Zulu. And then let's see, this is the version we have. So let's hit enter. So permissions denied. I guess my terminal doesn't have permissions, so I'm going to open my system settings. I'm gonna go to my, I guess, privacy and security. And let's go to the, let's scroll down, full disk access. Okay, so iTerm doesn't have access. Let's turn this on when I use my, okay, so it's asking me for reloading my terminal. So before I reload the terminal, I just wanted to show you guys that actually we had some issues here, I think. Let's check this terminal before we reopen this. When installing CocoaPods, it failed. This doesn't affect the project. I guess this is a very known issue. However, you will need to install pods manually when running iOS. Follow additional steps, run instructions for iOS section. Okay, so everything else, I guess the project was created correctly, and we should be able to start coding, right? Or start this project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit and reopen. I'm gonna say okay, so that we give access, right, to the terminal. Okay, so I'm gonna say check automatically. We have this terminal here. All right, let's see what else we have here. Let's try to go into this folder. And now all right, I don't have access, I think. Let me try to add this CD here. Okay, so now I'm inside this folder, and I'm going to say open dots, hit enter, and this is going to open this window. And here, I think we need to double click this. So I'm going to double click this and then proceed with the installation. Install, add my password here, hit enter. Okay, and I guess this worked. Let's close this. Let's close this. And let's close this terminal as well for now. Now, one thing that I was forgetting, very important thing, is that we don't have VS Code. So let's go ahead and search for VS Code. Download here for Mac, Apple Silicon chip, right? So let's install the zip. Let's download the zip. Okay, and we should be able to have VS Code in a moment. So my internet is going to be a little bit slow now that I'm connected to my phone. But yeah, so let's leave that like that. Let's go back to the guide, right? So after we install the JDK, we need to update the Java home environment variable if you use above steps, okay? So this would be likely in this path, okay? So Zulu OpenJDK offers JDK for both Intel and M1 Max. This will make sure that your builds are faster. Okay, so let's keep scrolling down. So for the Java home, I think, let me open the terminal again. I think there's a command. I'm going to clear this terminal now. I think there's a command that is echo and then Java home. But I think we need to add this here like that. All right, and as you can see, we don't have anything here. So we need to add this path to basically to our environment. So in order to do that, we need to add this path, but let me go back to the terminal. Let me put this to the right, let me put this to the left. Let's try to navigate to this library and then Java and then Java machine and then Solo. I'm just hitting tab and it's auto completing. And when we have a couple files, like in this case, we have 4, let's just type home and hit enter. Now we are inside this folder and we can open dots and hit enter. Okay. And this is basically the path that we need to add into our, how can I say this, into our environment variables for the terminal. So let's keep scrolling down. I think they're actually explaining how we can do that here in a moment. Let's see. One second, I'm just quickly going through this. Okay, so as you can see, they are exporting this Android home variable, and basically we need to do this. So what I want to do here is, first of all, figure out which profile I'm using. And as you can see here, I have this ZSH on top of this, which means I'm using ZSHRC, I think, for my profile. So there's actually a way to figure this out. I'm going to press Shift Command D. This is going to generate a new window in my terminal here. And I think I can drag and drop this to the top. Yeah, because I want to leave this one here, okay? So the way that I do this is by using Vim and then putting a dot here and hit tab, okay? So if I hit tab, you can see that I have this profile, Z profile. So I guess I was wrong. I'm not using this HRC, I'm using the Z profile here. So actually we can change that if you want to, but let's just continue using the Z profile. This is basically a file, guys. There's a way to do this using Vim, just by accessing the Z profile here and hit enter. And this is a file, right? So we can actually go ahead and just copy this. Okay, I'm going to copy. This is basically a text file that contains some configuration for the environment that we're using for the terminal. And then we also have the Java. So I'm gonna say export. Oops. Let me delete this. Okay, and let me scroll up. Where is this? Java home. Copy and paste here. This is going to be equal to my actual pad. So I need to go back here and then copy as pad name, paste it. And I think that's all we need. So I'm gonna say write and write and quit. I think that's all we need. This is how it should look, I guess. And yeah, so I'm going to exit this terminal. Now let's say echo Java home, hit enter. Okay, and we are not able to see anything. Let's duplicate this and say echo Java home again. Java home, hit enter. And of course we need to exit this terminal because we just made these changes, right? And once we echo Java home, we should be able to see this. So this is a path that is pointing to Zulu 17. So I guess we're safe now to close this and close this again. Close this as well. Okay. So I think we have that. Let's keep scrolling down here. They are asking us to download Android Studio, which I already did. So let me open Android Studio now. Okay. All right, so import industry settings. No, I don't have that. Don't send. I guess this is going to be just, the usual stuff, installing a new thing. Just things to keep in mind is that we need the virtual device and the SDK platform, as well as just the SDK, right? So let's keep scrolling down. So for the Android SDK, they are saying that we required Android 14, upside down cake. SDK is particular, additional SDK can be installed through the SDK manager Android Studio. So the way we do that is actually just following these steps. I'm going to select standard. Oh boy, this is going to download some things. So let's go ahead and click next, accept. And yeah, as you can see, we are downloading here some things. We have this Android emulator, some sources, some SDKs, 34. I guess, yeah. I guess we can just accept here and accept here as well. So that we are going to download that. And then we need to scroll all the way down, I guess, or no. Yeah, just finish. Alrighty guys, so a couple days have passed now. And I was able to download Android Studio. So I had some issues with my internet, but now it's working. So here we have the, here we have the screen that you should have once you installed VS Code. Sorry, yeah, Android Studio. So let's hit finish. And yeah, so this is what you should see now. Let's go here on the left side. And this is the screen that they are showing us here as well. So that means we are doing good. Let's keep scrolling down. And now they are saying that we need to select the SDK platform. So let's go ahead and select more actions, SDK manager. And this is the screen that you should see. Now they are asking us to expand and see that the Android 14 is checked. Okay. So Android 14 upside down cake. Let's go and check out here. It's the one that is checked by default. So I don't think we need to do anything here. Just to double check, let's check as well that we have the SDK platform 34 and also the Intel x86. So let's see what we have here. Let's keep scrolling down. That's all we need here, I think. Let's check the SDK tools. SDK should be, what is it, 34? Okay. We have 34. That's the emulator. Okay. We also have the 35 platform tools. Okay. Okay, then I guess everything else should be fine. SDK tools, 34, it's selected. Yep. Configure Android home environment variable. I think we already did that. Let's check here. Yep, this is the environment variable for Java. And also we need one for Android. But if I just go to my Z profile, you should see, you can see here that I have this Android home pad that basically looks like this. Okay. And then we can specify this source to point to this one. But we already did that, so we don't need to do that. Let's keep scrolling down. And I think that's all we need for for running the Android app. So I'm just going to exit this and close this terminal. Okay, let's go to Android here. I'm just gonna say okay. Let's go to the virtual device manager, and I'm just going to go ahead and click the play button here. This is going to start my simulator emulator for Android. And also let's go to the project that I created. All right, let's give it a minute. Okay, this is how it looks. Let me make this smaller. Yep, this is how it looks. Awesome. Nice, nice. All right. Let me close this as well. Now that this is running, I can close this as well, I think. Yep. And we should be fine. I'm gonna need to install VS Code. I thought I installed VS Code already. Oh yeah, it is here. Okay. Let's open the folder then. And it's going to be in my desktop, awesome project, and opened. All right. Would like to access. Let's allow everything. Cool, and this is my project. Let me make this bigger. Okay. Now let's open the terminal here. I think this would be more familiar for a lot of folks. So let's say, actually, I think for this we're using npm. Let's go to the scripts. Yep. So let's say npx or npm run start, which is going to start the Metro server. Okay, so let's allow everything. This is a good tip for setting up a new machine. And yeah, it is running. So that was super quick. Let's just press A to see if the Android emulator is working. Okay, so this is going to start downloading Gradle and a couple of things that we need for iOS. For Android. Okay, I think it is working, guys. Let's give it a minute. And also it's worth noting, guys, that it's saying here that this is going to take some time, just the first time that we build the app. After this, it should be faster. So just to keep that in mind. Okay. Nice. Wow, that was super quick. The bundle was built very quickly, and it is working now for Android. This is awesome. Wow, I'm surprised how fast this thing is. Okay, so I guess this is it for Android, right? Now we need to do the same for iOS. So I'm just going to expand this, and I'm going to open a new terminal inside this project as well. And let's run the command npx. And actually, I think we have a script for iOS. Yep. So we have npm run. And if you didn't know, you can say npm run and then the script that you want to run, in this case iOS, right? So let's say iOS and hit enter. Okay, and this is going to try to build the application for iOS. Now I think this is going to fail because if you remember, we couldn't install the pods for this project, but I think it's kind of working. It's launching my iPhone SE, which I don't really like because this is the small phone. I would like using the iPhone 15 at least. But yeah, let's wait a little bit to see if this works. Okay, and it just failed right away. So let's scroll up to see what's going on. Okay, and as you can see here, it failed to build the iOS app. So this was expected actually. Let's just move this to the right. I think we need to install the pods. And if we go here to the website, let me make this a little smaller because I think it's too big. Let's scroll up and let's go to the iOS. I want to point out that if I scroll down here, okay, they actually have this info note that if you are having trouble with iOS, try reinstalling dependencies by running cd iOS and then bundle install, okay, to install the bundler. So let's copy this and then go to the iOS folder. So I'm gonna say cd here iOS. Let me make this bigger. Okay, we are inside the iOS folder, as you can see here. Let's run that command, bundle install. Okay, that was very quick. And then we need to say bundle execute pod install to install the iOS dependencies managed by CocoaPods. So let's do that. Okay, just going to paste it here, make this smaller so that we can see what's going on this terminal. And yeah, so it's available to update, use this command. Yeah, so I don't have, I guess, the latest version of CocoaPods, but I think this is working. It is installing the iOS dependencies. So let's wait for a minute and see what happens. Alrighty guys, and that was it. It took like, let's say 2 minutes, but now we have all these dependencies installed for iOS, which means I can go ahead and cd to my root folder and then just clear the terminal and run again npm run iOS. And let's see if this time this command works. Okay, I got this warning, unable to boot the simulator, and that's fine. What I can do here is just go to my Xcode, or before actually I do this. So I got the warning, but let's wait a little bit because it's not breaking so far. So let's wait and see. Alright guys, and we have the successful build, but then it failed to launch the app on the simulator because of the warning that we had before. So what I'm going to do here is just go to the simulator. As you can see here, we have the simulator, icon. And what we can do here is just right click and then select a device. I'm going to select iOS 17, and let's just for fun select the iPhone 15 Pro. And this should boot the simulator for the first time. And now the next time that we run this command, instead of trying to boot the iPhone SE, it's going to use the simulator that is open already, which in this case should be this iPhone 15 Pro. Okay, so it's running. Let's do that again. I'm going to say npm run iOS, and hopefully this is going to take less time because the build it's already here. So let's see what happens. Okay, and it's recognizing the simulator and it's building the app again. So let's wait. Okay, and the build was successful, and this time was very quickly, and now it's building. Wow, very fast. I'm impressed. Yep, and there we go, guys. So as you can see, we didn't really need to install the latest version of CocoaPods, so you don't need to worry about it. And let's just minimize this for now. Let's close this for now. We don't really need it now. Yeah, let's go here. Let's just, as a conclusion, let's just talk about this. So as you can see, guys, it wasn't really super painful doing all this, but I guess this would be very difficult for someone that is not very familiar with setting up your environment variables. And I think that's the most tricky part of doing this. But yeah, as you can see, if you follow step by step, you should be able to have your React Native setup working great with the latest version of React Native. And yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to go to codewithbeto.dev and check out the courses. We have a React Native course, as well as React with TypeScript if you are interested in web and how to build scalable and maintainable mobile and web applications. So now you know, and thanks for watching. If you like this video as well, please hit the like button and leave a comment if you want to. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.